Hey guys, so I just got my wisdom teeth out, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Now, I have a pretty crazy fear of the dentist, so if any of you are like me and just have a very difficult time with it, then this might be a good video for you. I fractured two of my teeth when I was at basic training on one of the obstacle horses, and I had to get that fixed a couple weeks ago before getting my wisdom teeth out, and I had a panic attack. If that explains the extent of my fear of the dentist. And let me tell you, wisdom teeth are not bad. I was really worried about it, but once they knock you out, it's like nothing. I woke up a little bit at the end, and I was quite jumpy, but I think that was more just like the sounds and the pressure just kind of freaked me out. It didn't hurt at all. When I woke up, I was bawling my eyes out, and I wasn't sad, and I wasn't in pain. I was just crying, and the doctor said that's very normal. I guess a lot of people wake up crying from the anesthesia. I don't know. And then I had my NCO and a female there to take me home, and then it has to be the female that looks after you if you're a female. Now, the initial portion of my recovery was very rough, and that's only because the girl that was supposed to be taking care of me didn't want to take care of me. And so when I got home, I was drugged up, and I was talking a lot, and I was like I had a lot of heightened emotions, and she just wanted to knock me out. Didn't really read the instructions, so I hadn't eaten in about 22 hours at this point, because I hadn't eaten since at 5 p.m. the day before, and my surgery was at like 11:30, and so I had nothing in my stomach at all, and I'm used to drinking a lot of water. You can't eat or drink anything midnight before, and granted, I probably should have eaten a little later knowing that, but I didn't, so it is what it is. And anyways, so she gave me 2 of the hydrocodone, and I'm very sensitive to medication. I told her that before going in, but she gave me 2 of these before making sure I hadn't eaten or drinking anything. You're supposed to do that. And then she gave me yogurt, like a tub of yogurt, and force-fed me the whole thing, even though I said it didn't feel right. I didn't want any more. She force-fed me the entire container of yogurt. And I ended up throwing up a lot. And this video might be a little gross if you're very sensitive to throw up. So you're going to have to bear with me or don't watch. But I threw up everything I'd eaten. And then I was drinking a lot of water because I don't know. That's what I was thinking was the best thing to do when I was feeling so sick. I thought maybe the water would help settle my stomach, but then I couldn't keep down water. And then when I had nothing left, I just started throwing up the blood from my wisdom teeth. And I had a horrible migraine just from being sick and from the anesthesia and from the medicine. And the girl that was supposed to be taking care of me wasn't really doing anything at all. I think she was watching a movie on my computer. And I remember yelling at her. I was like, you need to call the dental clinic. You need to call one of our coworkers. Like, something needs to happen, because I can't just keep, like, not keeping stuff down and feeling this horrible. And it took them a long time to come. But my NCOIC ended up coming, and he's a nurse also, or almost a nurse or something. I don't know. And basically and part of the reason I want to make this video is in case you have issues with coming up from anesthesia. I think this is just good to know. He kept me elevated, and we just took some frozen vegetables from my freezer, and every 15 to 20 seconds moved it. So it would start from the front and work its way back into the sides, and just kept moving it every 15 to 20 seconds. And then to make sure I could keep the medicine and the food down, what we did is just sipped on water. Didn't gulp it down or anything. I would just take sips of water. And that was it. And then because I used one of these cups, once it got halfway empty so that my stomach actually had something in it to coat the medicine, that's when we crushed up half of one of my narcos into my pudding. You can't have dairy products when you come up from anesthesia. And I had eaten a whole tub of yogurt, which was a huge reason I got sick. No dairy products. And in case someone is watching you that doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't want to take care of you, you might as well just not buy anything with dairy in it to put in your fridge. It's the off chance that she feeds it to you. So I was just having like little, just very little chunks of pudding with the medicine in it, and then in between bites I would just take a sip of water to keep hydrated and keep my stomach coated, and I had about half a thing of pudding. Now the medicine, once it finally got into my system, knocked me out pretty good, and I was nauseous for about 24 hours, so it was really hard to eat, but I just kind of kept myself elevated, and I would move the cold across my head, and I would just crush up half of a medicine into my food and just have little bits while sipping on water, and I survived. And that's how I kept doing my medicine. Is even after I started feeling better, I would cut it in half and put it in my food. I just found that it worked. I mean, I'm not nearly as swollen as I was. This is part of my wisdom teeth kit I'll get to in a second. So it worked out for my experience, and I do recommend that, especially if you're sensitive like I am. So what they gave me was, they gave me gauze. I didn't really use it so much. I have like all of it left over because once I had thrown everything up, we decided, my NCOIAC and I decided that I just kept like cleansing my mouth with the water. And then by the time, I had thrown everything up and cleaned my mouth, like there wasn't really a need for the gauze. So yeah, didn't really need that. And they give you this little syringe looking thing. You just put water inside and clean out the areas. I haven't really needed this because I was so good about not eating any chunky foods and cleaning my mouth in general. I haven't used this yet, to be honest. They also gave me the hydrocodones and 800 milligram Motrins, which I am not touching. I have not touched this. It's way too much of a medicine for me. I know the Norcos are stronger, but again, I was cutting them in half. They also gave me this mouthwash, which I was using pretty religiously. You put it in for a minute and spit it out. It says to use it once or twice a day. I was using it like 3 times a day. Every time I would put something in my mouth that wasn't water, I would rinse with this afterwards. And I was really, really swollen. So I tried to brush my teeth, but it was really hard because I couldn't open my mouth. But I did try, and I am brushing my teeth now, I promise. So yeah, this mouthwash was a lifesaver for me. I recommend using this a lot in your recovery. But other than that, I think that's the gist of everything. Oh, except for also, nobody told me I had stitches in my mouth. Maybe I should have known that. I don't know, but maybe you're like me and know pretty much nothing about getting your wisdom teeth out. Yeah, you're probably going to have stitches. So when I got out of surgery, I was like pulling. I thought something was stuck in my tooth. I don't know what would have been in there, but I was like pulling at them. And even now, like all the other sides have like recovered except for where I had been pulling at the stitches. So I'm a little nervous. I'm going to have to go in for that because I can still feel that they are stitches. I don't know if they're actually in or if I pulled them to the extent that they're not holding in what they need to hold in. I don't know. Don't pull at your stitches is the moral of that story. Overall, I would not be afraid of getting your wisdom teeth out, and that's even coming from this panic attack over my fractures. It's not bad. Just make sure whoever's taking care of you does it correctly. And if anything, make sure you do your research. Take heed to what I said so that if something does go wrong, you kind of know what to do. Or, you can explain that to whoever's taking care of you. If A happens, do B. And, you'll be perfectly fine. Most of the time, you're probably going to be sleeping. I didn't go to work for 2.5 days. Pretty much slept. Well, I'm not a big sleeper. I rested a lot. You'll be fine, I promise. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions or you want to share your own experiences, I would love to hear. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.